Cover your ears, darling.
Wid Yi.
Have you actually heard anything about who the new James Bond is?
No.
No, I mean, Daniel Craig finished just a couple of years ago and there's not been a single announcement. There's been rumours kicking about, but no actual announcement. I'd want to know how this franchise is going to keep going.
I have the theory.
What's your theory?
Did you hear the news this week that well-known, well-remembered, very frequent James Bond actor George Lazenby announced his retirement this week?
Yeah, I'm actually sad at that, really.
I'm sad because he's only done one movie. Maybe this is the big red herring. Maybe this is like a diversionary
Well,
tactic.
let's face it, he's done other films in China. He's only known for playing James Bond for one time, and it was his first ever film, and then he went and did all this Asian stuff. But the guy's like 88, 89 years old, and he's retiring now.
I mean, maybe...
I think he can retire if he wants. In fact, do you want to know who I did read was going to be the next James Bond? He's put his hat in the ring.
Who's that?
Paul Chuckle.
No!
Apparently he has put his name in there to be the next James Bond. Now, this is it.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear. What, Quantum of Polis? Oh, a view to me, to you, to a kill.
To you, to me, to you, to,
to me,
a kill.
to you, to me. Meeting you with a view to me, to you, to a kill.
Meeting you with a view to meeting you to a kill. Face to face in secret places. Feel the chill.
Duran, I've got it set up there, I'm telling you.
Meeting you. I'm trying to think what else you could have. Octo Chuckle?
No, what about with the Sky Paul?
Do you think Adele's going to get paid a re-sing fee for that?
It's an extra syllable in there. Instead of an F, you just make it a P. You just got to distort the microphone a wee bit when they're recording. You can easily make an F sound like a P.
Do you remember the controversy when Daniel Craig took over? Not only did everyone ridicule him for that whole appearance on the Thames with the life jacket on, when Casino Royale came out, which, by the way, I still think
it's one of the best ones.
I would say that, Skyfall, maybe the recent one. But anyway, when Casino Royale came out, everyone ridiculed him as like, why is James Bond driving a Mondeo? Maybe Paul Chuckle rocks up. Remember when him and Barry used to turn up on that wee double bike thing with the BT phone box strapped to the roof?
Yeah, I remember that.
Hang on, I'll be there in just a minute.
I'm actually thinking the chase sequences, you know, like if he's pedaling along and Blofeld and his men are chasing after him in Land Rovers, has he got like all this gadgets and gizmos in there, like springs that spring him up and all that stuff? Oh dear.
A box of nails.
A box of smoke. He's sitting there with a cigar just trying to blow smoke out the back.
Remember in Austin Powers when they had the slow death of the security guard in the first one?
They did that in Deadpool as well.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Oh, I'm going to crush you to death in 3 minutes.
Well, maybe that'd be like the escape scene in A View to Me to You to a Kill.
Paul Chuckle in a steamroller.
Well, no, he's on his little twin bike, which, bless him, he's going to have to pedal on his own now. That makes me sad.
No, it's actually not that bad a thing, because he can evade anything. He'll just going to be cycling round in circles.
What, like a haggis?
He's literally like the haggis mobile.
One wheel's smaller than the other.
Well, Barry's not pedaling the other side anymore, is he?
Paul.
So, no, you've got Paul.
Barry.
Barry's the other one. Barry's dead.
I used to always get the two of them confused. Thanks for reminding me that Barry Chuckle's dead.
You're welcome.
I don't know what's sadder, the fact he's dead or being of that age when I realised his surname isn't actually Chuckle.
No, Mr. and Mrs. Chuckle had a kid. It doesn't sound right.
Hey, Chuckles!
I'd love to know what the sex noise was the night they get conceived. Mr. and Mrs. Chuckle.
While we're on the subject of movies...
And while I'm on the subject of YouTube, I'm throwing you off, doesn't matter.
Why are you throwing me off?
Because it's funny.
You know my attention span's like a squirrel. I'm sitting looking at YouTube.
Goldfish.
What? Where? I don't see goldfish.
Blub, blub.
Blum, blum. No, that's not my memory. No, I was sitting looking at YouTube, right? Someone's commented here, if money was no problem, would you commission, produce and direct a remake of Back to the Future? I know we don't like doing short wedges, right? But I'm of the Bob Zemeckis, Bob Gale train of thought that no, Back to the Future is not worth remaking.
Well, I will agree with you on that one. And do you want to know why I would remake it if I could do this? I would make a remake so bad that no film ever gets remade again.
But did you not learn a lesson from the reboot of RoboCop? They made a reboot so bad that they're now going, right, well, hang on, that one was terrible, so we've got to make another one.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad enough. They never learnt a lesson. They're still making reboots 10 years later.
Well, that's the thing. The RoboCop reboot came out in 2014, and they're now on about, right, well, hang on a second, maybe we could do one where RoboCop looks like the original Peter Weller RoboCop. And we'll call it RoboCop Reunions.
Well, actually, no, it was not. There was talk about getting Paul Verhoeven and Peter Weller back.
But Peter Weller would obviously have to probably just voice it and be
that's
CGI
what they did.
or whatever.
They made it into the game that's out, RoboCop Rogue City.
Which, to be fair,
and
looks
it looks
alright.
amazing. I've not played it, but it looks awesome. But back to the point. RoboCop got made, the 2014 one. I didn't hate it. It wasn't great, but I didn't hate it. It was watchable. Yeah,
if
know.
If it hadn't been based on RoboCop, if that had just been another movie, it's alright,
you know. But quite clearly, it's just not got the magic of the first one, nor the gore. So they're now still remaking films left, right and centre. So if somebody came up to me and said, if money was no problem, would I commission and produce and direct a remake of Back to the Future? I would really, really carefully cast who I could make a really bad film with that's so bad that Hollywood looks at it and says, maybe we'd better not remake any films.
Okay, so
that's why I would do it. So,
Back to the Future, who would you cast as Doc Brown?
Right, now I've got two different tangents here. I was thinking...
Is this timeline A and timeline B?
Well, timeline A and timeline B.
Timeline.
Well, it is a Back to the Future film, so there could be timelines. So let's just go on a Y tangent here, right? Option 1. We get Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero from The Room to be Marty and the Doc, respectively.
Jesus.
Now, could you imagine that?
Okay.
Oh, hi, Marty.
Right, that's creepy already. Who's your option B for the good tangent? So that's the bad tangent. Where's the good tangent going?
There isn't really a good tangent, but it could be done. What if we got Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman to come back, rephrase themselves as Deadpool and Wolverine, and they go time travelling in a DeLorean?
I mean,
I think that would be highly watchable, but terrible at the same time.
I mean, Wolverine's going to rip that thing to pieces, right? He's going to struggle.
It's made of stainless steel.
Well, he's going to be scratching it. I mean, there's nothing.
You can't scratch stainless steel.
I thought you could. I mean, he's got, what is it, adamantine
I don't know. He's got swords out his fist. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and I mean...
But it would just kind of look cool if those two went through time and fixed all the wrongs in a DeLorean.
Or maybe they fix the rights and make everything hilarious.
To be honest, at the end of Deadpool 2, Ryan Reynolds did that at the end when he shot the original Deadpool from the Wolverine film at the end, and he went and shot himself when he accepted the Green Lantern script. Not remember these?
No, and I have watched Deadpool 2,
brilliant.
But I haven't watched it. I think I maybe watched it like once.
Well, that was a big thing at the end where he's got Cable's time travelling watch thingy and he's going back in time sorting out all the wrongs. And there's one stage where he stood at the end of a crib. There's a baby crying and he said, and he points a gun at the baby. He says, this is harder than I thought. This is harder than I thought. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then the camera pans out as baby Hitler.
Well, that conversation just went on a tangent I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember the end of Deadpool 2. I mean...
Then he goes about and he kills the original Deadpool from the end of X-Men Origins Wolverine, the one with his mouth sewn shut. And then he goes and he shoots Ryan Reynolds in the back of his head when he's away to accept the Green Lantern script. And he says, the world's a better place, or something like that, and that's how it ends.
You see, it's weird. For me, Deadpool 2 is very much like Ted 2.
Right.
In that, I don't know, I really like the original. The second one, it's maybe not.
But then you've got the third one where he's finally got Hugh Jackman out of retirement to come and be Wolverine again.
Yeah, this is true.
You know, so... I think if you were going to do that and I could pick the cast and money was no object, I would make that film.
Oh man, my memory, my recollection of Back to the Future is now forever ruined. Thank you.
I've not even made this film yet.
What? Back to the Future, the What If Germany Won the War edition.
Starring Deadpool and Wolverine. I think it's a great film.
I mean, as if Ryan Reynolds doesn't have enough on his plate, being Wolverine and running a football club.
And a gin company.
And a gin company.
And a phone company.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the phone company.
Yeah, he got Rick Moranis out of retirement.
He did. Yeah.
Just so he can go, I'm Rick Moranis. Oh my God, it's Rick Moranis. And
My God, my kids are so tiny.
something like that. I can't even, and he
Honey, I shrunk them again.
I think he shrunk himself. He's like 4'10", the guy, is he?
Oh,
I miss Rick Moranis.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
You know who else I miss? John Candy.
Yeah, but Rick Moranis retired from public eye. John Candy, it's a bit different there.
Yeah, I get that, but, you know, I think they were both legends of the 90s.
They were.
Anyway.
And the 80s. Spaceballs, both of them were in it. Great film.
Little Shop of Horrors.
I can't remember that one really.
That was the one where Rick Moranis turned his hand to growing deadly piranha plants.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And
that was a musical, wasn't it?
It was a musical.
Yeah.
Anyway, jumping into YouTube again, we got another one from at Chicken Fillets.
At Chicken Fillets?
Yeah. So, he's actually asked 2 questions, so I'll ask you them.
Okay.
And this one's a quick one. Question 1. If you found out the Matrix was real, would you take the blue pill or the red pill?
Right, reminds me, because I've watched The Matrix 40 million times and I can't remember, did Morpheus offer the red pill, which opens Pandora's box, and the blue pill which sends him home, or the other
Yeah,
lines?
that was it. The blue pill, he goes back to believing what he wants to believe.
Wakes
and then,
up in his own bed,
yeah,
doesn't
and
meet
the red
Trinity,
pill,
yada, yada.
he shows you where deep the rabbit hole goes. All that. So, which one would you take?
If I find out the Matrix was real.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm offered the pills, do I genuinely invest myself in the knowledge that the Matrix is real? And what I mean by that is, look at Neo's perspective, right? Neo goes into that meeting convinced there's more to the world than meets the eye.
Right.
He already has that kind of, I'm pretty sure this fucked up planet ain't for real. He's got that Oompa Loompa vibe going on already.
To me, it just sounds like the stranger with the rusty van asking you to come into his van with a photo of puppies and some sweeties. That's what it sounds like to me, with the way you're speaking about there. The second question he's given is actually, this one's probably a wee bit more...
Do you want my answer to the first one?
Right, yeah, go for it.
Before you go off on some random tangent.
Go on then, because I'm choking to go on a random tangent.
And we need to prevent that at all costs.
A tandem arrangement.
Tandem arrangement. Sounds like a sweet. Available at all good stockists. I think if I was invested in the idea as Neo was, played by non-actor Keanu Reeves, perfect role for him. Oh man, this is heavy. I think I would take the red pill if I had as much knowledge and as much suspicion about the real world as Neo did.
So you would leave the Matrix to go in to join Morpheus and the Nebuchadnezzar and
eating
go in,
porridge,
eat shit porridge and drink bloody diesel or whatever.
Well, the thing is, do you not think that once you have that gut feeling that the world is false, you would want to know what the real world, to hell the consequences. You're kind of thinking, well, maybe the real world, you don't know the Nebuchadnezzar's, that ship of doom that awaits you. You would want to go and explore, wouldn't you?
I don't know. Knowing the world's a piece of shit.
Well, can you imagine me?
Could you imagine? I'll go to the world and there's this dystopian world. It's all a bunch of shit. I can't even go to a plumbed-in toilet anymore, and I cannot get a fish supper.
Well, they never showed the toilet. They never showed that. No, my thing is, can you imagine being Christopher Columbus, getting to the end of the land and going, right, well, screw that, I ain't going to America. And America just lies undiscovered for all these years.
I think people knew America was there.
Yeah, but he had to get on the boat and he had to be brave and he had to pull up his big boy pants and go exploring. And I'd want to do that with a red pill.
Please say you went with Dora the Explorer.
No. Right, question 2.
Right, question number 2.
Are you okay there?
Yeah, I'm fine, right.
All right.
Question 2. Would you, for £375, allow me to blow an air horn at you at any time of the day with no warning? You'll have no warning. That's £1 a day, Ken.
Oh. Actually,
here you go. You know what? I'm getting my wallet out. There you go. There's £375. And I just broke my air horn.
How close a proximity is the air horn going to be when you sound it? Like, could I be the other side of a room? Wid Yi. I think you're going to have to sign from now on. I still can't hear.
My ears are tingling.
What? What? Right, okay. You only gave me £1. That's twice. I want another £1. Right. Oh man, my ears. You know that thing when your ear keeps popping and creasing? Oh, I'm not even kidding you.
I'm going to sneak up on you anywhere now and just start playing with this horn if it doesn't break in my hands.
No. Right, okay, this is a good one. Would you take on a cold caller for 10 minutes for £6?
When you mean take him on, like in a fight, or do I just keep him talking?
I mean, in a fight, that's kind of pointless. He's got a job to do. I think keep them talking. This is like when Jehovah's Witness comes to your door and they're always surprised at that 1 in a million people who go, yeah, I'll happily talk to you about Jeebus.
Well, actually, I've done it in reverse. I've not kept a cold caller talking, but I have phoned back in the day when Argos had a call centre. This is before Amazon and all that sort of thing kicked off. Argos had a call centre. You phoned them and you said to them, I'm wanting this. They'll get it to your local Argos and you go pick it up the next day. Great thing. But what I did, I'd say, I'm looking for a product. I want to deliver to Aberdeen. And what do you want? And instead of giving them the item code, which should be 6234541, I would dial the number in my phone so they would get do.
What, the dial tones?
Just the dial tones, you press the button. And when they would say, oh, can you give me the item code, please? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. I would just do it again. I know fine well these guys have comms on their heads and they can't hang up.
Were you getting the Argos catalogue confused with those little digger games on Live and Kicking? Remember you had to phone 0181 811 8181?
That's
and
right.
if you were posh back in the early 90s and you had a touch phone button, like 2 was forward.
I can touch my phone.
I thought you were going to say you could touch your button. Not here, you can't. If you pressed like 2, the truck went forward. If you pressed 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, it went left. 6, it went right.
Something like that.
And it never quite worked because obviously delay, and nobody ever really, I guess, thought
anything
about that. Yeah.
No, I seem to remember this.
Were you getting confused with that?
No, I don't seem to remember that, but they used to have to shout north, south, east and west, and somebody at the studio went and did it for them.
Yeah.
It was to avoid like a caterpillar and you were like eating, I don't know, whatever it was, but that's what I did. And do you know how long I did this for, this occasion?
6 minutes.
It was actually 23.
Oh, just pressing the
this poor lassie at the phone, will you please just tell me what you want to order? And I would do, yep, no problem. And I do.
You know what that reminds me of? You doing that silly noise. Do you remember Bill Bailey in Black Boots when
religiously
he had his duty-to-do card? It's my duty-to-do card. You what? Bernard's sitting looking at him going, what? And he's like, it's my duty-to-do card.
It's my duty-to-do card.
Duty-to-do cards and his little book of happiness.
No, it was a little book of Cam.
Little book of Cam.
And that was the first ever episode.
Oh my God, it was. And he's wandering around the streets of London like some kind of weird hippie Jesus.
Yeah, he's picture the calm equestrianness of the ocean or something like that. I know equestrianness and ocean don't go. Seahorses, yes.
Seahorses. Yeah. Cam is like seahorses.
So, what was the question again?
It was something to do with cold callers. Nothing to do with black books. I think we've just proved you could do this though. Would you take on a cold caller for 10 minutes for £6? Aye.
Thanks for listening. Would you do us a favour and check back again next week? And don't forget to find and like us on the socials. Wid Yi.